All right, here's our plates that we made for our all-wheel drive assembly for the rear. We painted them again with our steel, and it's not going to stay this color. I just wanted both sides to be painted. They're going to match the interior of the car once they're bolted in and welded in, but I just wanted them to have kind of like a primer. So actually I need to move this battery out of the way, but let's see. Actually, oh, sorry, wrong one. Yeah. All right. So that's how that one's gonna go. And that's how that one's gonna go. So you can kind of see the pretty flush. Pretty flush. So we're gonna pull the battery out, get these plates squared in there. This one's pretty squared. Get them fastened all the way down, and then we're gonna weld them in. And all we're doing is we just wanted to make a little bit better mounting area for the rear diff. You know, this is pretty thin sheet metal, so we just wanted to make sure it was strong enough. So we'll remove the battery before we make the battery bracket back here. Hey, so those are our plates on our all-wheel drive CRX. So those plates are just added strength, and if you notice, we bent them. You'll see earlier in the video we bent them, and because the straight plate on the driver's side had a down slope, so we bent them down so we wouldn't have to fill in, you know, a half an inch worth of weld. And on the passenger side, we bent them up so that way the plate wouldn't be at a slope going up, and we wouldn't have to fill weld a lot of places, but mostly because we want that mating surface to be flush with the bolt. So that bolt, the reason why we did the plates is just an extra added safety measure, I guess, for us. It's not that it won't work. You know, I'm sure Hub City's done plenty of these and it's worked. It was just for our own peace of mind, I guess you could say. It's plenty of bracing. When you go underneath there, that big bolt that comes through actually goes through the Hub City diff mount into their big aluminum spacer through the factory sheet metal, and then our plate. And because it only goes through one place there, just if there's a possibility of torque, it's a pretty massive bracket, and it's mounted at the pivoting points on the lower control arms in the rear, and on four holes technically, two on each side that don't get used for anything from the factory. Most likely it's a mounting point when they were moving the bodies from machine to machine or a certain process. So they utilize those two holes on each side and drill them bigger and do a bolt through there. So there's bracketry going to the factory. Just trying to add a little bit more for stability. Also, we're going to weld the nuts to those plates. So it's going to be, even though it's a bolt through, it's going to be a one-person job. We don't want to have two people in there or set up some type of breaker bar to tighten the nuts up on top while you're underneath, you know, doing the bolt or whatever, vice versa. So we're also going to weld the nuts to that plate, to those plates. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. so far, our voyage with our all-wheel drive CRX. There's a lot more coming up. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff to do, and hopefully that are trying to up the bar, so to speak. You know, doing a little bit of extra stuff is good for you guys to see. I hope you guys like that. Along with that, we're gonna have some our brake upgrades coming up. We have a different master cylinder. We're using a Willwood with a booster delete. We had some parts come in for it, so we'll be showing that video. Plus, we straightened the brake lines. You saw that, I think. I gotta look back. Anyways, well, we're gonna have that. We moved the proportioning valve, but for our rear diff, yeah, we're gonna and all that's gonna be, like I said, painted. I said that in the last video, and these plates will be painted white, just like the regular interior. So once it's all done, the nuts and the plates will be painted. The reason why we painted the plates right off the bat is because the mating surface that's going down, we don't want them to corrode if moisture gets inside there and rust out. Thinking about throwing some sealant inside there just to take up the space, but if not, you know, we have two painted surfaces that are face to face, and then we're gonna weld those in, and we might drill some holes in those plates just to rosebud directly to the factory sheet metal. So instead of just welding the perimeter of the plate, we might drill a couple of holes and rosebud from the factory sheet metal to the plates. And then, like I said, we're gonna weld the bolts to that too, so it's a one-person job tightening those bolts underneath. I think that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed this voyage, and let us know what you think. You know, if there's something you want to see, or you have a question as to why we're doing something, let us know. And if there's something you want to see, also let us know. And yeah, that's our all-wheel drive CRX rear diff mounting. Oh, next week we're going to be doing the rear diff. We're going to actually mount the rear diff in there once we get this all squared away, but we're going to clean it up. We're going to paint it. Most of the CRVs were in the Midwest or back east because of the snow. So I believe our diff came from the back east, actually. But we're also going to pin it. If you've been familiar, or if you're familiar with the CRV, you know that they sound like a howling dog when they go bad because of the constant velocities inside the CVs inside the front of the diff. So we're going to pin that. So stay tuned for that next week. So we're going to have definitely more all-wheel drive stuff going on. Hopefully by next week we're going to have the whole rear end settled in, mounted, painted, welded and everything. And the diff will be in there ready to get it all connected pretty soon. Yeah, this is TurboDave here at Performance Corner. Please hit the subscribe button if you like what we do. Please hit the like button, and we'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Thank you. Take care.